Hey guys, Cleanblade here, bringing another Pokemon TCG online video, and today we're looking into Shiftry with Giant Fan, and so we're just going to be basically using the ability. We won't be attacking whatsoever. We're going to be flipping a coin. If heads, we choose one of our opponent's Pokemon and put it back into their deck. So this can be easily abused with the Evolution Spray, Giant Plant Force. Seeing Giant Plant Force gets around the negation, or the drawback, should I say, of de-evolution spray. So let's just jump straight into the deck profile. I'll explain things as we go over it. So we're running 4 Shaman EX with setup. Setup is basically a draw power for the deck. We basically go through our entire deck in one turn. You could only run 3 Shaman if you wanted to, but I run 4 just for consistency. You probably open up one anyways, but we do have issues to solve that as well. Then we're running 4 C-Dot. C-Dot is really needed for this deck because we're running Shiftry. It doesn't matter which C-Dot you want to run. You could run this old one too. It doesn't really matter. We win first turn no matter what. If you don't, then you probably lost the game. Let's put it like that. Then we're running 4 Nuzleaf. Nuzleaf is stable. We need it. We need it to be able to evolve into Shiftry with Giant Fan, essentially. And if you don't have that, you're probably not going to be able to evolve, and you really have to hit these things. You could run a 3-3 line in this deck. We only run 4-4 for consistency of getting C-Dots, Nuzleafs, and Shiftries, but you can get away with running 3-3 if you wanted to, as long as you don't get any of them prized, I don't think. And if that doesn't happen, then you have nothing to worry about. Then we're running 4 Shiftry with Giant Fan. So this bad boy has been taking the expanded meta away from everybody, seeing we can now use de-evolution spray without a drawback on Shiftry. Now this means I can de-evolution spray back into Nuzleaf and use Giant Plant Force, go into Shiftry, and it gets around this can't evolve this turn, if you get what I'm saying, on the Nuzleaf. So you can constantly do that. You can get full effect of de-evolution spray turn after turn after turn for Giant Fan, and it just kind of destroys every deck that you can play in Expanded. It's a turn 1 win no matter what. Essentially, as long as you draw halfway decent, you can make the deck work. Then we're running just 2 Unknown. Now, you could run more, but if you start them, it really sucks. We really have no real way of getting them back onto our bench, unless if you want to super scoop them back up. But usually it's not worth it, seeing you're only drawing 1 card just for a super scoop up. So technically you're putting yourself at a minus then, which usually isn't worth it overall. So just be ready for that. Occasionally you'll open it. You're hoping to either start with Shaman or C-Dot. Those are the higher odds and probabilities of it. So be ready for that. Now we're going to jump into the trainers, which basically make this deck. We're running 3 Acrobite just for consistencies. Occasionally you'll have to discard a de-evolution spray here or there. It can hurt, but usually it doesn't matter all that much, if that makes sense. Then we're running 4 Bicycle. Now Bicycle is a card that can either be really good or really dead. It really depends on how you play. I run 4 Bicycle. Think you should run 4 Bicycle no matter what. We do run cards to make Bicycle less dead in our hand and stuff like that. So be ready for that. We'll get into those a little bit later on in the deck profile. But yeah, I think you should run 4 Bicycle. It just helps us draw through our entire deck completely, and who doesn't like doing that? Then we're running 4 de-evolution spray. This is basically the backbone of the deck, and basically supports Shiftry with Giant Fan pretty heavily, and is basically able to carry the entire deck on its own just by using de-evolution spray, Shiftry, flip a coin, de-evolution spray, Shiftry, flip a coin, over and over and over again until your heart's content, essentially. And once that happens, it's pretty much just like GG. Eventually you're just going to hit all your heads and you're just going to win. Unless if you have really bad luck and you just flip all tails, in which then you just concede, if that makes sense. But moving on, we are running, I do believe, 3 level balls in this deck. Yes, we are. We're running 3 level balls in the deck. We're able to grab C-Dot, Shiftry, not Shiftry, Nuzleaf, that's it. And Unknown with level ball, so it's just really good. We do need to grab those occasionally, so why not use it? Plus, it's just a straight plus for level ball. There's no drawback whatsoever, so we just run it. It's such a good card to be reprinted. Then we're running 3 Maintenance. Maintenance is really good in this deck. It helps us get off Bicycles, stuff like that. Get rid of those pesky de-evolution sprays when you don't need them and just want a draw power card in your deck. So Maintenance is pretty much a must, I think. I think it really helps the consistency in this deck, and I think it will drive the deck to even go further with Maintenance in the deck overall. There's a few drawbacks to it. Technically, it's a -2 because you shuffle 2 cards into your deck, draw 1, but technically you're getting rid of a card, so that's 3 cards that you had to get rid of out of your hand just to draw 1 card technically. So it can be kind of a bad card to play every once in a while, but usually it's really, really good in this deck, so I run 3. Then we're running 3 Recycle. Recycle is just good for the coin. If heads, put a card from your discard pile on top of your deck. While we run Bicycle, stuff like that, we can get De-Evolution Spray, Roller Skates, all that stuff right back on top of our deck and just abuse them away like there's no tomorrow, and just basically make the deck kind of broken, if that makes sense. We can get like 7 De-Evolution Sprays off alone, and that's not including well, exactly 7 De-Evolution Sprays off, and that's 7 times we can use Giant Fan extra, and then we run Super Cyclones and stuff like that, and it just becomes really absurd on how many times you can use this ability. You guys will see. Then we're running 4 Roller Skates. Improves consistency to the deck. If you flip tails, it doesn't really matter. You're probably gonna flip 50-50 on Roller Skates, which is huge. It allows you to draw 6 cards out of your deck if you do that, so why not run Roller Skates? Plus it burns cards in your deck, and you just get bigger and bigger hands, and you can't help but not run Roller Skates in this deck, in my opinion. It's just too good. Then we're running 1 Scoop Up Cyclone. This is where it gets kind of debatable. For your A spec, you can either run Scoop Up Cyclone or run Computer Search. Computer Search is good because you can grab Shamans, stuff like that. Obviously, Computer Search is just a really good supporter. The Scoop Up Cyclone is better when you already have a Shaman down. You can just scoop it up, play it, get a brand new hand, full hand, and it just helps a lot that way. And it allows you to pick up dead things, pick up Giant Fan Shiftries if you need another one, stuff like that. And it's just a really good card in this deck. That's why we're running Scoop Up Cyclone, in my opinion. You can also run Computer Search, so keep that in mind. Then we're running 4 Super Scoop Up. So that's why I was saying Computer Search can't be run, because we do run 4 Super Scoop Up. This allows us to pick up Shamans, Unknowns that are stuck in the active, Shiftries, and it just allows us to be more and more consistent, which is what we want overall. Then we're running 4 Trainer's Mail. This helps us get to our Forest of the Giant Plants and our Ultra Balls and our Bicycles and our Shamans and AZs and stuff like that way faster, and it just adds a giant amount of consistency to the deck. So that's why we run Trainer's Mail. Ultra Ball, we used to basically be able to get out Shamans and be able to plus off Shaman. You usually don't want to discard too much in the deck, but that really doesn't matter overall. You can discard basically an entire line of Shiftries and still be just fine, in my opinion. So Ultra Ball hurts, but makes the deck good. You just don't want to discard your De-Evolution Sprays mostly. So moving on to the only supporter we run in this deck is 2 AZ. AZ is too good. We don't want to run Juniper or anything like that. We can pick up our Shamans and get plenty of basically free Biancas off a Shaman. And yeah, we win all of our turns in turn 1, so we don't need Sycamores or Ends or anything like that. And AZ just fits the build perfectly. So moving on to the last card in the deck, well, card should I say, we're running 4 Forest of the Giant Plants. So as I said before, this basically breaks the deck and makes it pretty broken, seeing it gets around De-Evolution Sprays ruling. For some odd reason, I don't know why that is. I don't really know at all. I thought I was going to come up with something there, being able to explain it. I don't, but all I know is it kind of breaks the deck heavily, and it makes Shiftry one of these things that's just overly broken. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this deck profile though, and it means a lot to me. If you guys really like this deck profile, hit that thumbs up button down below, and if you really like the deck profile, go over to my channel, hit that subscribe button. We do deck profiles, battles, stuff like that throughout the week all the time. So if you guys like it, come back for more. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.